Maido. Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about when in Rome, when we're in Japan. Preseno Master Shimasho. This is the 5th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku here in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie franchise owner for Tokyo, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. And my new book in Japanese, Zaegyo, is now available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker who is clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 301. Today we're talking about, should I copy the style of Japanese presentations when doing business in Japan? I get this question quite often. Should I follow the logic of when in Rome, do as the Romans do with regard to doing business with Japanese companies? The question is usually related to how to present to buyers. The Western pitch deck is usually well designed, professionally laid out, and Zen-like in its simplicity. Ironically, the equivalent decks from companies in the land of Zen are usually more reminiscent of the Baroque period, highly ornate and florid in design. Polar opposites, in fact. The style of the actual delivery of the decks is usually also a world apart, and it's quite shocking when you first encounter this phenomenon. What should we be doing to be effective in winning business from Japanese companies? Very, very occasionally, when teaching presentation skills here, Japanese people, we will encounter a preference for the Japanese way of presenting rather than the global standard that we are advocating. What do they mean by the Japanese way? We should speak in a monotone, with no energy, have our backs to the audience, and read everything on the screen to those in the room. Let me try that again. It also means having a slide with 5 different fonts and a similar number of colours packed to the gunwales with data. If using graphs is a good idea, then let's put up 5 on the one slide so that everything is so tiny you cannot make much sense of it. If proffering information is considered important, then let's affix vast slabs of impenetrable text to the slide and then read it to the audience. Another favourite is to put up the entire spreadsheet, packed with microscopic numbers in the cells. Just to spice it up, let's add some animation and have various bits move around. Why are the Japanese decks and every other collection of information offered often so crammed and dense? I discovered the reason when I was a university student here in Tokyo. Back in 1979, I attended an academic conference on Sino-Japanese relations, which was my chosen field of study at that time. One of the professors relating a point about the difference in thinking between Chinese people and Japanese people. Zen travelled from India through China to Japan, and so at various points in history, Japanese Buddhist priests would go to China to study. There was an allegorical Zen tale regarding a well and a bucket, which, in the Chinese version, made a macro point about the condition of humanity in the world. The good professor made the observation that when that allegorical tale was translated into Japanese, in addition to the macro point, there was a tremendous amount of micro detail about the construction of the well, how the rope was made, the dimensions of everything, etc., etc. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Our show today is being sponsored by our Dale Carnegie course on the 24th of August. This is our flagship course, Leadership, Communication, People Skills, Stress Management, and coming out of your comfort zone so you can challenge things you've not done before, things you're not good at, how to expand your range of possibilities in your career. Phenomenal course. Always gets massively high voice of customer and net promoter scores. Phenomenal program. On the 30th of August, another phenomenal program, our high impact presentations course, 2 instructors, 2 days for the main modules, everything videoed, massive, and I mean massive amounts of one-on-one individual coaching in this program. This is a come in one morning on day 1 and go out evening day 2, completely transformed. Incredible program. On the 6th of September, we'll be doing Confident English. This is for Japanese staff who speak English in the office. Maybe you've even sent them to eikaiwa or English conversation classes. However, when it gets the time, or we get to the time for the meetings, particularly with overseas colleagues or with visiting VIPs, they go very quiet. They don't speak up. They don't use their English. So, what was all that effort for to recruit people who speak English and spending money on training them? Well, what they lack is confidence to speak in English, and this is what we address in this course. They've got enough vocab. They've got enough grammar. Most Japanese know more about English grammar than I do. So it's not that issue for them. It's that confidence to speak in front of others, not feel foolish or embarrassed or lose face. We fix that problem. Check out our website at www.dale, D-A-L-E, hyphen, Carnegie, C-A-R-N-E-G-I-E, .co.jp. Lots and lots of value for you there. Now, to do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, there are over 1,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which is the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. This is the point. Japanese buyers have an insatiable need for data. You simply cannot oversupply data to a Japanese client, and they will just keep sucking it up like a tornado devours everything in its path. So when we present our highly refined, trimmed down slide deck or submit our carefully manicured written proposal, the Japanese side often feels like they have just missed their lunch and are starving, ravenous for more information. Written materials in particular can be a problem. We are trained in the West to be succinct, to focus on the core information, to get to the point. Japan is not that way. The language itself is circuitous, vague, and indirect. We are a bilingual operation here in Tokyo, so we are constantly switching between languages. Even after 37 years here, I am still amazed at how many more words are needed to express the same concept in Japanese than in English. So, should we become Japanese when we present? To be successful here, we need 2 presentations. We need the global best practice slide deck, the one which gets to the key points quickly and clearly. The information on screen must be able to be grasped in 2 seconds. If it takes longer than that, the slide is too complex and needs to be simplified further. When we deliver it, we use our eye contact to engage the audience, our voice modulation to provide variety to keep the audience with us, and use our gestures to highlight key concepts, phrases, and words. We should also bring a massively thick compendium of supporting information, so high you couldn't jump over it, to go with your presentation, which was focused on the highlights. After the meeting, or after they have received your written proposal, there will be staff designated to comb through the data to find all the problems associated with working with you and doing business with your company. Japan has a highly risk-averse culture, especially in business. The people you are dealing with are not going to get massive bonuses and rewards for risk-taking. In Japan, the ratio of CEO pay vis-a-vis the median employee's pay is 58 times greater, compared to 670 times in the USA. The upside isn't big for risk-taking here, but the downside for making a mistake is massive. The people you are dealing with, or the people in the presentation room, will not be making any decisions until the forensic due diligence has been completed. For that purpose, they have a data-devouring, demonic need for information. Always be fully professional in your delivery, but carry a very big bag full of information and hand that over. Trust me, no one will complain about the wait. Once you understand the conversation going on in the mind of your Japanese customer, you can meet them there and things will become much easier. Don't try to be Japanese. Be yourself, but be smart, professional, well-organized, and come packing heavy with data, lots and lots of data. Thank you for joining the Presentations Japan series. If you got value from today's show, spread the love around and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you have learned today, use it, and go out there and become a presentations legend. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.